into that right away, but before we begin, remember to jump over to profitpilot.com. That's where you guys can find more information about me and what I do and the newsletters that I write. And if after this presentation or this segment today, if you guys are interested in either becoming a Moxie subscriber, which we've been doing quite well in there, or if you want to learn how I trade using the Moxie indicator, or you want to pick up the Moxie indicator, come over here to services and you can come down here. The Mastery is the alert service, and the Moxie stock method is the one where it has the class and the indicator and all that. So I'll circle back around to that in a little bit. But boy, yeah, wanted to talk about the market today. Now, as far as the S&P, we've been talking about this for a little bit, trying to say, okay, what's it going to do? It's right at the previous high. Is it going to drop? Is it going to pull back? What's it going to do? Back here, I was trading that pretty well. We were looking for drops. We got that, but then it just kept going, and everything on the internals were saying, hey, this isn't really supported, not really supported. Only a handful of big names are really keeping the market up. You can see that the Moxie indicator was declining the whole time. We were just not seeing much strength on the 15-minute either. We finally did get a fairly good pullback. Maybe that was enough to refresh it. And then over the weekend, we got news about a plasma treatment for COVID that's supposed to be good. And, basically, better COVID news is going to help the market in general. So that's what spurred it. And then I jumped on a bunch of stocks, airlines, cruise lines, casinos, that kind of stuff that I thought if the narrative about COVID was getting better, then these names would start picking up. Well, that worked out for a couple days, and we did nail a few of them. But then today, and this is what I want to talk about, I think the news for today, and I can't quite confirm this yet, but what I'm observing is not only did Salesforce, CRM, have earnings, and so they had good earnings, but they are also getting listed onto the Dow Jones. And I don't know if this is maybe the sign of the times, because ExxonMobil, which was added in 1928 to the Dow Jones, is now being removed. It was like, 92 years that it has been on the Dow Jones, and they're removing it. So used to be a huge company. It's still a big company, but boy, as far as what's relevant, that's going out the window, and now Salesforce is going in. That might be what is also boosting this, because now a lot of other ETFs and firms have to buy it in order to make everything equal for what's going into the Dow Jones. And then I think because of what's going on here, we are seeing some really kind of crazy, how almost out of the blue moves, and I'll show you, in the tech space. Just tech moving. Like, you look at this. We got Zen just straight up today. We had, some to more extent, some to less extent. TTD just popping straight up today. Netflix. Now, Netflix did bounce off the daily 50, but look at this move, just straight up today. Okta, straight up today, going into earnings. So, there were some setups, but then just straight up. I can keep going on about this, showing kind of tech name after tech name after tech name that are all moving today, and they're moving vertically. Now, yeah, that might feel like FOMO, and you got to make sure we kind of pay attention to that. I'll show you some ways that I'm going to be looking at to say, hey, if this is going to work, this is how we can get into it. What it did appears, though, that all the money is going over here, and it basically sucked out all the momentum and energy of the names that need the COVID plays to help me out. So I'll show you those as well. But basically, the plays that I was looking at on Monday, Tuesday, just got the air sucked out of them today. So I had to do a little bit of moving around and then looking at this. Sometimes there's just news that changes. Let me circle back to the S&P, because as far as what we got here, this was COVID news, better COVID news that spurred the market. Now, I'm getting pretty nervous around here. This is starting to feel like a bit of a blow-off top, similar to right there. The other interesting thing is, and you guys really need to be aware of this and how it might affect things. Jerome Powell is speaking tomorrow at Jackson Hole. They're making a big deal out of this. Apparently, it's going to be profound, something profound. I don't know, like that, and it's going to be how they view inflation. They're going to be changing the way they view inflation. What is that really going to be? We're not quite sure, and I would imagine that they're probably going to say, well, more inflation is good and okay and fine, and we also don't really care about it. That's my guess. That's kind of what I'm picking up on it. So I'm wondering if partially that is also why the market is starting to move up into that. But the last time that the market back here, right here at early June, moved up, it then imploded on the FOMC minutes. Basically, the Fed came out and said, okay, nothing's changed. It was just a news event. Just be aware that that is a possibility for this session. When Jerome Powell speaks, could be a non-event. It could be actually really good for the market, but it's just a news event, which everyone could be like, oh, great, and then they sell it. We have no idea, just kind of speculating here, but do you guys see that back here is starting to get like this? We are up big for 3 days in a row, which is similar to what we had back here in June. We are now pushing outside of the third ATR on the daily chart. We are way off of the 8 EMA, and we are now running the third ATR on the hourly chart, and we are very far away from the hourly 50. And ever since that move pop up on Monday, we have not touched the 15-minute 50. Fantastic. This is great. I hope you guys are succeeding from this. But man, this is getting to be kind of frothy and outer spaced type areas. The IWM not quite responding to it. The Qs, we'll go over there. Insane. This is where all of the energy and momentum is today. Let me zoom out just a little bit because I want to show you this. And once again, how long is this going to be sustained? We are pushing way outside of here into areas that anytime it tends to get there, they tend to pull back. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Netflix. I'm looking at, Amazon's not too much. All the names, MDB, Okta, Roku, Shop, all these names that are going vertical today, not exactly places that you want to initiate a buy. And I'll go through those also. Other than this little tap here, we have not touched the hourly 50, and we are now just going straight up. This is why, for as great as this is, we kind of need to be looking around and be like, how long is this going to last? And just keep in mind, maybe we're starting to talk blow off top territory. So be aware of any kind of pullbacks. This awesome move, I hope you're taking advantage of it, but I hope you're also cashing some stuff in. If we look at something like, how about Roku? Vertical move. Now, how do we catch something like this? Well, first off, I don't really want to just buy here. If you weren't already in, it's going to be pretty hard to catch a move like this because, well, you either had to just jump on it this morning and just took off for the day. All right. It is outside of the third ATR on this thing. It is extended. It's up here in some previous price areas. But for me, in order to be able to catch something like this, I gotta wait until price comes down or goes sideways, and this might take some time to run into the 15-minute 50. Let me show you a couple examples of how that might go. So if you look at JD, which is JD.com, it popped on earnings, a week ago, something like that. Here's an example of what I'm trying to talk about. I said I don't really want to be buying here on, say, Netflix and Roku and all these big names that have really popped because that's just not a really good, comfortable spot, and I have no guidance, no real metric for what's going on. Where I am more comfortable with is the 15-minute 50, and you can see here, right there, that price was able to bounce off of the 15-minute 50 and then it ran. So these are the things that I'm going to be looking for to see, all right, if this sustains and if it keeps going, that's where I can buy in. Let me show you then HUYA, Huya, a little bit more recent. Actually, this has a couple good examples. Let me show you the first one where when you see that price jumped up like this, and this was before earnings, notice how price did not hold the 15-minute 50. Right there, didn't hold the 15-minute 50, and what did it do? It imploded real hard. Maybe that was earnings related, who knows, but this is the concern, this is the caution that I want to be able to convey to you all, that when we look at this market and we think, oh man, we got to get in, this thing's going to go, well, It may not. This could all be a trick. We don't know. This could be a blow off top. We don't know how long this is going to last for. The big names could be selling into all of us who are trying to grab all this kind of stuff. But that is the best metric that I have, is essentially the 15-minute 50. And if you look here, the last time Huya was able to run up is it bounced off of the 15-minute 50 here. Now I did a little touch, not quite the 15-minute 50, but hey, as long as this thing can stay above the 15-minute 50, that'll be my guide. But it is getting up into some frothy areas. How about here, HEAR? Not that it's related, just trying to show you examples. Here's another situation where a stock popped up. You can see like this, really just popped up, and what did it do? It went sideways into the 15-minute 50, into the 15-minute 50, took a little bit of a dip, but then recovered and kind of is holding that ever since. So again, there's kind of the market, the tools that I can use to help you out with that. Imram, good to see you. Sam, Ricky, I'm sure I have a lot of people from the Moxie alert service, the Mastery, in here, so maybe you guys want to say hi, because I told everybody I'm going to be live today, and that there are a lot of things we need to talk about. Now let me show you some of the stuff that maybe is not going to be working out. So Jets, this is the ETF for the airlines. It is, I was trading American Airlines, and what you can see is when we got that big pop on Monday because of that COVID news, you can see big pop here. And just like I'm telling you today with Netflix and with Huya and Okta and all this other stuff, if this is going to work, my first guide and line in the sand is going to be the 15-minute 50. And you can see that right now we're going sideways, and it's not like today, it's breaking the 15-minute 50, so I got out of these names. What I wanted to see was this right here, where price held the 15-minute 50. So that's what I'm looking for. And because it didn't do it, I'm out. And in my subscription service today, there was some chatter about this, like, hey, we just put on some names yesterday, and we were taking a whole bunch of names off today. Like, what the heck's going on? Well, this is what's going on. We have to adapt to what's going on with the market. And the names in the sectors that I was going in based on the news on Monday and Tuesday suddenly are not working out today. And that's perfectly fine. This is what happens. You can see that all of a sudden, look what's happening in tech. Did any of you expect this to happen in tech today? Probably not. And that's why we go with what we can for what we have at the time. But yeah, if you're looking at tech, I want to see this. If this is going to keep going, that's what I'm going to see. So to get into names like Netflix and Roku and Zen and Work and Twilio and SurveyMonkey and all these other names, I want to see them hold the 15-minute 50 if this is going to keep going. Another one, how about we look at the cruise lines? Because CCL, NCLH, those names, I was looking at for them. Nope, let me kind of zoom out on that. I was looking for them to hold. Yeah, hey AC, good to see you. Yeah, glad you guys are checking in today. Let me get rid of this right there so we can see that better. So what I wanted to see from cruise lines, airlines, whatever, I wanted to see this. I wanted to see them hold the 15-minute 50 and move up like they did before. Notice here, I was thinking that it was going to hold. It looked like it wanted to bounce off the 15-minute 50 as of yesterday. So we were in, we got in, we stayed in, whatever, and look at what happened today. A failure of the 15-minute 50. So you're out. You cut it. Whatever. Now, maybe these things will work out later in the week. Maybe they'll work out next week, because I see potential here on the hourly chart. Just like how when these moves get started, I want to see price engage with the 15-minute 50. In order for a more substantial move to get started, I want to see them hold the hourly 50. And so I do see that price is still kind of oscillating up here above the hourly 50. But in order for me to determine if that's going to work or not, is too much movement. There's too much risk. And so I keep my stops tighter. Like today, I'm out. Because what could happen is price here could keep coming down here, and in order for me to discover or find out if price is going to hold the 15-minute or the hourly 50, that's too much risk. That's too many percents, too much dollars I'm going to be giving away to figure out if it's going to work. And what if it doesn't work? What if it keeps going down here? Well, then I'm losing even more money. So I'm using this as my near-term guide, and then since that didn't work out, now I'm looking at the hourly, and we'll see if maybe there's an opportunity to get back in at some other time. Even Stitch Fix. I was thinking maybe this was going to go because kind of tech related. Well, look at this. This is why I keep tight stops. Look at this. Looked like it was going to bounce off the 15-minute 50, didn't. So as soon as it didn't hold the 15-minute 50, I'm out. Now, if you guys have a hard time getting in and getting out of positions and you think, well, you don't know what you're doing, or clearly this isn't working, or this is so confusing and I'm in, then I'm out. Welcome to the stock market. That is part of the discipline that I have, and part of my trading rules is that I might get in one day, and if it doesn't work the next day, so be it. I'm out. And thank goodness I'm out, because look what Stitch Fix is doing. It's falling like a rock, okay? So I'm happy about this. I am perfectly fine missing this thing. I got like a 2% loss. No big deal. I'm out of it. Now what's interesting, let me show you a couple other names. SIG, which is a jewelry store or jeweler retailer. Look at this. It continues to move up today. So I kind of look at this and say, this is one of those names that I would have traded. It is along the lines of, I thought, the airlines or Fossil or any of these other retailers that I would have thought I was looking at, I've been trading, and I thought would have gotten hit today since the other ones got hit today. But what is it? Look, see how it's been staying above the 15-minute 50? So this is my guide. If you guys want to be trying to tackle these tech names today that are moving crazy, that is the only parameter that I can give you near term that I think we can use to figure out, is it going to hold and can we still take it? Even Shake Shack. Now, why is Shake Shack still moving up? But it is. Whatever. And look what it did. 15-minute 50, 15-minute 50, and for now it's above the 15-minute 50. We'll have to see if that continues to hold and work out. And then here's a random one, PRTY, Party City. Why is it going up today? I don't know. I would imagine that it's going up because return to normalcy, the better COVID news, the treatments, all this kind of stuff, which is exactly why I was tackling the airlines and the cruise lines and some of the casinos and those names. This one's still working out. Look at this. Did a trampoline move there, which is when price dips below the 50 and the Moxie indicator is still above 0. And you can see here yesterday, maybe the day before, held the 15-minute 50 and it's still up. So it's a mixed bag out there, and some of the names that I was in didn't work out, but some of the names I was in have done really well. So this is NIO. It's the Tesla of China. Didn't know that this was going to move the way it did, but this is what trading the stock market's all about. We got in on, let's see, today's Wednesday, so we got in on Monday. Also during my live trading session, you can see that the Moxie indicator was looking pretty good. We had divergence. It had just bounced off the hourly 50, jumped in, and this thing screamed. And we're still in it because this might keep moving the way that Tesla moved. So we are up 34% in 2 days. I'm happy with that. And you know what? If it means that I have to get out of cruise lines and airlines and take a couple knocks, fine. I got a winner like this one that's doing well. How about Workhorse? Workhorse should be doing pretty well. I think it's in the same category. You can see on the daily chart, should be flagging into the daily 50. Look at the volume that is coming in, so good volume. Now it got a little overextended, and what am I looking for next? As I said earlier in today's session, I want to see price hold the 15-minute 50. If it can do that, then I'm willing to stay in it. If it can't, like it did before, I'm out. So pretty simple stuff, pretty simple rules, that's fine. If it means I got to get in and get out, no big deal. That's how we got to trade, and that's how I keep myself safe. But Workhorse, looking for that to hold the 15-minute 50 at some point. Just for clarification, we did get in on Monday right there, so very happy about that. And then how about Solo? Now, funny enough, this is a single person, or maybe they have up to a 2-person model electric car in Canada. Cool. But there must have been some news. I've been looking at this for a little bit because if you see here on the daily chart, we have price below the daily 50, but the Moxie indicator is above 0, so that's a trampoline move on that time frame. And then I know you got a lot of Moxie people in here. You guys see the elf shoe? This one looks perfect. Look at this thing. Here's your leg, here's your heel, here's the arch of your foot, there's the ball of your foot, there's your off toe. So yeah, I was looking at that. I've been watching it for a little while, trying to get this thing figured out when it was going to go. And here on the hourly chart, you can see price was running into a downtrending hourly 50, and then what? We have price bouncing off of an hourly 50. And then yesterday we had price getting above the 15-minute 50. The Moxie indicator was looking good. I saw this thing was starting to move. I saw that there was volume coming in. I said, let's go. And we got it at $2.92. Popped up, pulled back a little bit. Fine. Going to let this thing run a little bit because look at the volume. Look at that volume coming in there. So along with Tesla and NIO and all these other stocks that kind of go with the electric car stuff, we're going to hang on and see where it goes. It's all tech, and tech's moving. So yeah. Yeah, thanks BK. And Jackson, I don't use max pain theory. I think that's more of an options thing. I don't quite look into that kind of stuff. And then Baloo, yeah, let's see, UAL, the airlines, they're just not working yet. They might later, but they're not working right now, which is why I had to get out of them. You could see big news right there on Monday because of the COVID situation. And this is what I'm cautioning about the tech stuff today. There are vertical moves in the tech names, and we want to make sure that they actually continue to hold. And here's a good example. We want them to hold. If the tech names are going to keep moving up, they're going to move up along the 15-minute 50. If they aren't, then they could just be a one-day wonder, just like the airlines were. So they popped up. We took a couple trades, something like this, and I said, hey, if they can't hold the 15-minute 50, then we're out. Now Delta, I haven't looked at it today, but Delta yesterday was a little bit different. Yeah, look at this. Delta's actually doing better than most of the other airlines. And notice why. Look what it's doing. It is staying above the 15-minute 50. See? Some pretty simple stuff here, but it's important. So if we do that, we look at, at Stitch Fix, Workhorse, we got all that. And here's now another interesting thing. And sorry if I'm talking fast, kind of going all over the place. It's kind of a crazy market. It has me excited. Look at this. So Dick's Sporting Good, this makes sense. I think their number was their online sales increased by 300%. Well, go figure. We're all locked up and there's no sports and nothing to do, and it's summer, so everybody's ordering all this sporting good equipment and anything that you get from Big Five or Dick's, and they're ordering it online, and then everything's getting delivered through FedEx and Amazon and who knows what. And so they just had earnings, they had good numbers, and pop, look at that. So you might want to keep this on your list to see if it's going to continue, but use your near-term guide to see if it's going to work. Urban, URBN, Urban Outfitters. Clothing store. Again, this is why I was thinking maybe Stitch Fix was going to work. What else was I trading? I was looking at Fossil. I thought Fossil was going to work. Discovery is kind of hanging in there. A couple other names like that. So Urban Outfitters, doing pretty well. But then you get into, like Macy's not doing well, Nordstrom not doing well, and what's the other one? Express, EXPR, and not doing well. It had earnings and it went down. So this is, you got to really be able to pick the stocks and figure out which ones are going to work, because it's not just going to be a blanket situation of, hey, we can trade this sector and it's going to work. And then, let's see, the other one was CHS. Chico's, a little bit of a move. Now, not really kind of going anywhere. It's not super exciting, but it's up compared to, say, Express or compared to some of the other ones. So very, very, very strange market out there indeed. And Joe, as far as Moxie being available on other platforms, we are working on it. I think TradingView is going to be the next one that we are going to have available for Moxie to be on. It will not work on TradeStation. We just can't get it to work, so it's never going to be on TradeStation. And then beyond that, we're going to keep working on other ones to get it on. I think that's going to be mostly of where I'm looking at. Let's kind of go to some of the big names. Spotify looks interesting. I prefer to see price engage with the 15-minute 50, because again, here's another example of what I'm cautious about. You see how back in the day, we had price on Spotify pop up, and what it do? It pulled back to the 15-minute 50. This scenario is what I was looking for with the airlines and with the cruise lines and whatnot. So as I said, if any of my Moxie people or from my mastery are in here on the live session, this is exactly what I was looking for American Airlines and for Norwegian and CCL and Play, Dave & Buster's, all that stuff. You could see how we had a big move up. It pulled back down to the 15-minute 50, and then I wanted to see price actually hold the 15-minute 50, and I was expecting them to move up today. And you know what? They didn't do that. And so we take that as market information. It's telling us what's up, and the fact that it went down, you're out, because that is the difference. So that's why I wanted to make sure that all my Moxie subscribers were here today, because there was some good stuff to be learning from, and this is what I wanted to see right here. Hold the 15-minute 50. Now, since then, Spotify has bounced off of the hourly 50. You can see it is moving up with everything else. I'm going to wait until it comes back down and actually bounces off of the 15-minute 50. I've just seen this too many times to say, you know what, it might keep running, but I know what I look for, and I know what I can trade, and I want to see it actually interact and engage with the 15-minute 50. Let's see. Okay, workhorse. Someone's talking about that again. You know, it's just dropping. I still see it above the 15-minute 50. So that's going to be my line in the sand, Thomas. I'm just going to have to wait and see where it's going to go. Thanks, Thor. I appreciate it. And yeah, Thor, if you're new, yeah, send me an email. It can be support@simplertrading.com, and then you can get me through there with my just say attention for me. SKYY. This is ETF. If you guys see that here, let's see, ETF for cloud computing names. So clearly the stuff that has been popping today. If you see here, look, yesterday it was up and it was over the 15-minute 50. Now today it bounced a lot, shot up a lot. Am I going to be entering it here? No, I'm not going to. It's unfortunate I wasn't in there before and saw it and whatever, but so be it. But this is not a place that I want to go enter. I do not want to be entering at the third ATR, and I do not want to be entering out here. So I just have to wait. And let's see. Well, what else is there to grab? So MDB, like this. Same thing. Fantastic moves. Really, really good, fantastic moves. You can see price was over the 15-minute 50 yesterday. Great. Do we expect this kind of move? No, we didn't expect it. But am I going to be entering up here? No, I'm not going to be entering up here. We don't know if it's going to keep running from here or if it's going to pull back and fail. We don't know. But this is not a good place for me to enter. Maybe for you it is. I don't know. But for me, it's not a place that I want to enter. Let me show you what possibilities like this. If we look at this section, the last time that price jumped up like this, you can see that this jumped up. Is that a good place to enter? Not necessarily. Is that a good place to enter? No, not necessarily. Look, it came all the way down, bounced off the 15-minute 50, and then it shot up. Is this a good place to enter? No. And then you can see here, it gave a bit of a fake out. It looked like it was going to bounce off the 15-minute 50. It did not, and that's where you put your stop, is just below something like that. So this is my kind of trading. If it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, then you know, go find something that does work for you. But this is how I stay safe over the years, and that's why I just wanted to be able to talk to you all about these crazy moves that are happening today and just say, just calm down a little bit, it's okay, and let's not worry about this too much. There will be another opportunity to get in if this is legitimate, okay? If this is legitimate. So with that all being said, I'm going to send you guys back over here to profitpilot.com. If you want to check out the Moxie Mastery, which is my alert trading service, you can come over here to profitpilot.com/services. And if you want the Moxie indicator yourself so that you can kind of do the trading that I do and look at it the way that I do, you can come over here and you can pick it up, get the class and the indicator, the scanner, all the tools that come with it. So do that, and then yeah, just profitpilot.com. Thanks again. That was a speedy half hour, but we've got a lot going on in the market out there, and just wanted to make sure we could all tune in for a little bit. So thanks again, guys. I will see you again next week, and we'll see what happens. Remember, we have Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow about some profound something about how they're going to look at inflation. So it'll be very curious to see what that does. All right, everyone, take care, and we'll catch you later.